I want you to raise your hand if your weekly screen time report is low key or high key, the most embarrassing thing about you. We listen and we don't judge around here, okay? Because my hand would have been the first one up about 4 months ago. Back in September, I realized that my screen time was absolutely out of control. And y'all, it was big time impacting my life in ways that I'm not proud of. My sleep was absolute trash because I was scrolling before bed. My patience was thin, which is not ideal when you're a toddler mom, okay? I had a lingering hum of anxiety in my brain from always feeling on. I had a hard time being present because my brain was always wanting to default to reaching for my phone to check something real quick. We all know how that turns out. I was struggling to stay focused on tasks and get things done in a timely manner, aka I was distracted all the time. I felt creatively drained, which really sucks when a big part of your job requires creativity. If you're sitting there nodding along because you're tired of your phone feeling like an extra limb that's constantly hijacking your attention from the things that matter most to you, we're gonna learn how to fix that today. Welcome or welcome back to the Hustle Sanely podcast. I am so glad that you're here and I hope that you're taking care of yourself. This right here is your digital classroom for learning how to break up with burnout and build a peacefully productive life. Every Tuesday, class is in session, and we are learning simple, practical strategies to build a peacefully productive life in every season. So if you're tired of feeling like you're running on E and stretched so thin, grab your notebook and let's get to class. But make sure you subscribe and you say hi to your fellow classmates down below because, y'all, we are taking attendance down in the comments and we want to know who's in class today. With that being said, the bell has rung, so welcome to class. Let's learn today's lesson together. First, I want to make sure that you know phones were designed with the intention of getting you to constantly scroll. It's not a problem with you. Your brain is doing what the phone is designed to try and make it do. So, before we start trying any habits to help us get off our phones, we've got to get our minds right first. Hello, that is key one to hustling sanely. Get your mindset right. It's that for a reason. So I beg you to stop beating yourself up for not being proud of your screen time right now because you being rude to yourself is not helping the problem. The way phones and apps are built, the bright colors, the constant stream of notifications, the infinite scroll, unpredictable rewards for our brains in the form of likes or comments, unlimited new comment to explore. It's not an accident. None of it is an accident. Designers and companies optimize for engagement because they want us on their platforms as much as possible. Our attention is currency to them, and they are actually trying to hijack our brains. The pull that you feel to check your phone over and over again is not a deficit in your willpower, okay? You're not weak. There is real neuropsychological design behind wanting to be constantly on our phones. But as I'm sure you can attest to, constantly being on our phones keeps us from living a truly peacefully productive life. When it comes to using your phone, intentional boundaries, mindfulness, and conscious use rather than just grabbing it and using it on autopilot are essential if you want to stay focused, present, and aligned with your goals. So while we all might be tempted to toss our phones in the nearest body of water, let's not do that, okay? But instead, let's talk about some habits and rhythms that can make us more conscious phone users. Like most of our other habits, our screen time habits are going to ebb and flow, all right? So what has supported you in one season may not support you in another. It's all about figuring out what works best for you to be a conscious screen time user right now. That is something that I used to struggle with, setting and forgetting my habits, thinking that I just had to master a habit and it would support me forever and always, no questions asked, no matter what is going on in my life. Y'all, that is not how habits and routines work, okay? I've done screen time episodes on the show before, but these are the 5 habits that I've been implementing since September that have brought my screen time average from, this is so embarrassing, 5 to 6 hours a day. I know, insane, down to 3 hours or less a day, which listen, I know 3 hours is still a lot, but it's the number that I'm personally comfortable with since I do a lot of my day-to-day work on my phone. That being said, let's get into it. Let's chat about the 5 habits that helped me break my phone addiction, that are helping me break my phone addiction, I should say. So, habit number 1 is take an extended break from social media. And there's a part 2 to this one. Make that a consistent rhythm in your life. So, I feel for the majority of us, social media is the reason that our screen time is abysmal. It definitely makes up the majority of my personal screen time. So it's what I make changes with first when I notice that my screen time is, creeping right up and needs to be reined back in. Back in October, I took a planned 2 week break from going on Instagram. Like I took off completely from Instagram, posting, scrolling. I didn't do any of it. And let me tell you, not to be dramatic, but it was life changing. And I know that 2 weeks doesn't sound like a very long time, but for someone who has been sharing on that app for over a decade, basically every day in a professional capacity, 2 weeks felt like a really long time. It wasn't until I took an intentional break from Instagram that I realized how much of my time and attention I devote to it. And I didn't like that. Instagram is my scrolling app of choice. I don't use TikTok. So if I'm doom scrolling, I'm definitely on Instagram. I tell y'all that the 2 weeks that I took off changed my life. This is what I mean. I didn't realize how creatively burned out I actually was from being on Instagram so much. During my 2 weeks off the app, I literally brainstormed the new format for the podcast. I built our new podcast studio that you see right here with my husband, and I rebranded my entire membership that I've had since 2021. My creative juices were flowing because I didn't have this constant stream of input, like my brain could actually think and it had space to like have ideas instead of just being like crammed with other people's ideas all the time. I was also way more present and patient with my daughter, who was 2 at the time. She just turned 3. I cried a few times as I was looking into her eyes during that time that I took off of Instagram because it made me realize how many of my conversations that I have with her are had while looking at a screen, which was a sad and scary realization for me. I'm so thankful to have picked up on that while she's still young so that I can do better for her. Because of how fruitful taking those 2 weeks off was for me, I've decided that in 2026, I am taking a 1 week Instagram break every quarter, so like every 3-ish months. I've already got all the months that I'm taking breaks planned out. That is habit number one. Take an extended break from social media. And the part two, make that a consistent rhythm in your life. Habit number two, to help you break your phone addiction, take a day off of social media every single week. If you follow me over on Instagram, you probably know that I practice social media free Sundays, and I have for I want to say 2 years now. This is definitely a practice that is non negotiable for me because my mind needs a break from consuming, sharing, and creating every single week so that I'm not doing all of those things from an empty cup. You know what I mean? Without that break, even scrolling for fun can start to feel like it's a chore. And I end up feeling drained rather than inspired. So it just like defeats the whole purpose. Taking a day off also gives me space to reconnect with the real world on a deeper level. It's a reminder to me that my attention is not an unlimited resource and I get to choose where it goes. I also notice that when I give myself this weekly pause, I enjoy social media so much more during the rest of the week. I feel in control of my usage instead of letting staring at a screen become my default. That shift, choosing when to engage, is so freeing. And I'll be so honest, the first few weeks of my social media free Sunday practice, like back a couple years ago when I started it felt weird. It felt foreign. I was like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I would be on autopilot and I would pick up my phone and just open Instagram without even thinking. It took me a good 2 to 3 weeks to really pick up on, oh, okay, we do not even think about Instagram on Sundays. And truly, now I crave my time off of social media every week. Like on Saturday night, I'm like, yes, we get to take off Instagram tomorrow. You obviously don't have to choose Sunday as your day off of social media, but I 10 out of 10 recommend choosing a day, whether it's the same one every week or a different one week to week, if that works better for you, to stay off of social media completely for a soul break. Like it is so good for your soul. So that is habit number two. Habit number three, to help you break your phone addiction, have scheduled phone-free hours and or phone-free activities every single day. So back in September in Hustle Sanely Study Hall, which is our peaceful productivity membership, if you didn't know, and yes, it did used to be called the BFF membership. Back in September, we did a 100 unplugged hours challenge together after reading The Unplugged Hours by Hannah Brencher, and doing that was truly the catalyst to me wanting to take a break from Instagram and to essentially rewrite my relationship with my phone. I had never done any type of like phone free challenge before that. So for the 100 unplugged hours challenge, we had to spend 100 intentional hours not on our phones at all. The hours we were asleep did not count. Okay. So don't even think that. So part of what I did to help me hit my 100 unplugged hours during the 30-day period was having scheduled phone free hours and activities every day. And I've carried that habit with me since September because it really does feel supportive in helping me keep my screen time down. I know that we love a concrete example around here. So I'm going to share what my phone free hours and phone free activities are right now. Notice I said right now because our schedules and routines, say it with me now, they are tools, not chains. They are there to make our lives better, not to stress us out. Okay. As my life changes, I'm going to update my phone free hours and my phone free activities so that they stay feeling supportive. So these are my current phone free hours and activities. I don't go on my phone from 6 a.m., which is usually what time I wake up, to about 6:30 a.m. And then I only go on to put on music or an audiobook for my workout at 6:30 when I work out in the mornings. I don't go on social media or in my email inbox until at least 9 a.m. On my work days, I don't go on my phone for 30 minutes after my workday ends so that I can be present with my daughter without screens. And then as a family, we do phone free dinner. So we don't have our phones at the dinner table. I put my phone on the charger at 9 p.m. so that I don't touch it again until the morning. I usually go to bed between like 10 and 11. So it's at least an hour or two without a phone in the evening. I don't want my head being down, looking at my phone to be my default. And having designated phone free hours and activities helps me so much with this. That is why it is habit number 3 that I recommend to help you break your phone addiction. That brings us to habit number 4 to help you break your phone addiction. Have scheduled scroll time every day. Not to play favorites, but this one is my favorite, okay? I give myself 3 20-minute scroll sessions every day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening. It's intentional time that is dedicated to me scrolling, okay? This helps keep me from intermittently picking up my phone to scroll here and there, which means I'm actually scrolling all day long because those quick scrolls at red lights, waiting for your coffee, in between sets at the gym, they all add up and contribute to this constant hum of low grade anxiety in our minds, which is not the vibe for a peacefully productive life. So I did not start doing this habit until after the 100 unplugged hours in Hustle Sanely Study Hall, which by the way, if you ever want to join, go to jessicamassey.com/study hall. Even if enrollment isn't open, you can sign up for the wait list. But anyway, doing the 100 unplugged hours challenge made me realize that my mental health is so much better when I have designated scroll sessions built into my day. So I personally don't have set hours for my scroll sessions. It's more fluid, if you will. Sometimes my morning scroll session is at 7 a.m. Sometimes it's at 10 a.m. It just kind of depends on how my days are going. Y'all know what we say around here. Our schedules and routines are tools, not chains. And that's just what works best for me is not having designated times attached to my scroll sessions, just knowing that I'm going to do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening. So that is habit number 4 to help you break your phone addiction. Habit number 5, the last one that we're going to talk about, is use an accountability tool to reduce your screen time. Now, people ask me how I stick to my self-imposed social media boundaries. It is not discipline. It is not willpower. All my credit goes to this thing right here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see what I'm holding up. This is my brick. Listen, I know that the brick is getting so much hype right now online, but I am here to shout from the rooftops. The hype is so real, okay? The hype is so real. If you've never heard of a brick, it's this little plastic magnet, like there's a magnet on the back that pairs with an app on your phone. In the app, you create modes and schedules to essentially lock yourself out of your phone. You can't get back into those apps until you unbrick your phone, which requires that you open the brick app on your phone and physically tap the back of your phone to the brick. So, yeah, it's been a game changer for me. I was so hesitant because I too was just like, okay, everybody is hyping this thing up. Like, it can't be that great. It can't be like, it can't make that big of a difference. I'm eating my words. I'm eating my words because it works. This thing has lowered my screen time incredibly. Incredibly. The brick is like $59, but I am not even joking. It's one of my top 3 purchases from 2025. It's an investment in your well-being, honestly. I do have a $10 off code that I will put down in the show notes and or description box, depending on where you're listening or watching, if y'all want to get one. So at 9 p.m. every single day, my phone automatically locks me out of social media and I can't access any of those apps again until I tap my phone to the brick, which I don't usually get around to doing until like 9 or 10 a.m. because I keep my brick in my office. On social media free Sundays, I don't unbrick it at all. I just leave it bricked all day long. If you don't want to buy a brick, that's totally fine. There are apps that limit your app usage, but personally, I needed that added layer of accountability of having to physically get up and walk over to that little piece of plastic to like tap my phone on it. If I can override my boundary in an app on my phone, I'm gonna do it. Can't explain how having the physical brick makes such a difference, but it just does, okay? I think it's just, like I said, having to physically go get your brick adds a layer of inconvenience or resistance, which usually isn't worth it to me. Like, I don't actually want to go on social media that bad. I just do it out of habit. And because I'm so used to having it right at my fingertips, but it's like, I don't want to go on it bad enough to like get up, walk into my office, tap my phone to the brick. Like, no. Having the brick has made such a difference in my day-to-day screen time. That wraps up today's lesson, but what good is learning something if you don't apply it to your life? We are all about taking action and implementation here in the Hustle Sanely classroom. It's time for me to assign your homework for the week so that you can actually create a peacefully productive life. So this week's homework, what I want you to do before class next week, aka before next week's episode, look at your screen time reports from the last few weeks. I know that's a big ask. It's a big ask. So I want you to look at your screen time reports from the last few weeks and respond to these journal prompts. First one, which 3 apps and or websites take up the most of your time? How does each one make you feel during and after use? And then the second journal prompt that I want you to answer after you look at your screen time, are there patterns where screen time serves you versus when it drains you? After you look at your screen time and you answer those journal prompts, I want you to pick one, just one of the habits that we talked about in today's episode. So I'm going to give you a little recap, of course. So habit number 1, take intentional, regular extended breaks from social media. Number 2, take one social media free day each week. Number 3, set daily phone free hours. Number 4, schedule intentional scroll time each day. Number 5, use an accountability tool to limit your screen time. I love my brick. I already sung its praises. I want you to choose one of those 5 habits to try out over the next week. Figure out how to make the habit work for you in your season of life. All right, y'all, class is officially dismissed and we are gonna hang out for some extra credit. This is the part of the show where I just fill you in on all the things happening in the Hustle Sanely community right now. Y'all, today, if you're watching this the day that it airs, January 20th, it's actually my 36th birthday. I turned 36 today, which is honestly so crazy to think about. I've honestly loved my 30s so much, and I am so excited to see what is in store for year 36. I started Hustle Sanely when I was 28, and now I'm in my mid 30s, which it's just wild. It is just wild. So something exciting that I am wanting to do to celebrate my birthday here with the Hustle Sanely community, my team and I, aka my best friend Carson, she works with me. We are the team. We are Hustle Sanely. We are brainstorming a crew neck design for the Hustle Sanely community that we can sell on our website. It has been a dream of mine to have a Hustle Sanely crew neck. So I just wanted to let you guys know we are working on some designs. If there's any like Hustle Sanely crew neck design that you're dying to see, whether it's a color, a saying, anything, let me know down in the comments if you're watching on YouTube so that we can read all of your ideas as we are scheming up the design for the Hustle Sanely crew neck. I will, of course, let you guys know when those are ready for you. I think we're going to do a pre-order. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I will for sure keep you guys in the loop of when they are ready for you to either pre-order or order. And then, of course, y'all know what I'm going to say next. 2026 Peacefully Productive Planners are still in stock, but we have less than 300 left. Don't order more. Once we run out, once these are gone, like we will not have any more planners until our 2027 collection drop, which is not until the fall. So do not wait if you are wanting to get your hands on a 2026 Peacefully Productive Planner. I personally use the weekly planner and I love and adore it so much. I always have it linked down in the show notes and or description box for y'all. Thank you so much for coming to class with me today. I will meet you right back here next Tuesday and I hope you have the best day ever.